I can't say enough of how this center influenced me and the benefits that my wife got from it. I thought nobody can take care of her like me, and I knew I had to do something for my family. It's in their hearts that they want to provide the care for the people that deserve it here.
In Fairfield County, something new comes across my desk every day. Crimes are committed, cases are solved, and a community is made safe by the hardworking employees of the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office.
Welcome to This Week with Sheriff Dave Phelan, a weekly program here on LSN Television. We're also carried by a number of our radio affiliates here in Lancaster and beyond. Do appreciate you, the viewers and listeners that join us each and every week. Fairfield Christian Academy produces the show. Executive producer is Kelly Roberts with the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office. She's our media guru, takes care of Facebook and a host of other things, along with the home foreclosures in our county. We're going to have her on one of our shows very shortly. A lot of interesting information she could share. Back by popular demand is Shanna Littleton. Good to see you back here.
Good to see you too.
Taking time out of your busy schedule. Executive Director of Grace Haven Ministry.
Yeah.
And again, congratulations on that. And that's exciting. Now, how long have you been in that position? I know this hasn't been too long.
No, it hasn't. Since June.
Since
mid-June, when I got back from my Haiti trip.
Okay.
Is when I transitioned over officially. So
a lot of busy stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's probably, and I know since Loretta, my wife, served in that role for many years, it's different than any kind of responsibility you could ever have, is because it's so multitask. It's so different elements.
It is. There's lots of different elements and different things that, going into it, some of those things exist, but that's also unpredictable.
Right.
It's a very unpredictable ministry.
Yeah,
so.
and you have the clientele, you have to raise money,
Yeah.
And you've got volunteers, all those kind of things. Let's start with just kind of a recap for maybe the viewers and listeners that didn't see the program last week. Tell us a little bit of what Grace Haven is, what the ministry is about.
Grace Haven is a place for women who are coming out of jail or are in between, their life, trying to find a place where they can get their feet underneath them, a safe environment it's a sober home where it gives them a different opportunity to experience life outside of addiction.
Right, and it's a Christian ministry?
Yes, it is. Everything is Christ-centered.
Okay, that's good. So they have Bible study, they have those kind of things?
We do. We have weekly Bible studies. The lady who's currently doing the Bible study, she's doing a wonderful job, and every week she gives different topics for them to apply throughout their week. So we've been able to see different elements of interaction with the residents, and it's always very encouraging when you see them take part in those things.
And so how many girls typically stay at each one of the houses?
4 to 6, depending on how the rooms are, divided.
Okay.
We also take into consideration what their story is and where they're at.
Okay.
And how to, maybe they could be paired in a room with someone else, but maybe they also need some independence. So all those things are taken into consideration when they move in.
Now, so they move into the house, and you have a house supervisor that actually lives there?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's volunteer. They stay overnight. They do, monitor and make sure that the house rules are being upheld by the residents, and they can also be involved, in their life and be influential, because they really do need that, and they really enjoy it.
They need some stability there
and
those kind of things. So you're currently looking for a supervisor, a house supervisor?
We need 2 house supervisors right now.
Okay.
What we would really like to have is a very large list of volunteers who would be willing to substitute as house supervisors. Not everyone's situation, works to be, a permanent house supervisor. Where if we had more volunteers, to maybe pick a few nights, during the month to be involved and not make that such a heavy responsibility on one person. Yeah. If we had a lot of substitutes, that would really help. It would help the ministry, and it would get more people involved as well.
So is there any, a criteria for a house supervisor?
They definitely need to be there to cover, the evening shift. Okay. We make sure that the residents have, medication that is prescribed by their physicians, that's monitored. Okay. And, daily devotions is important. I've actually stayed, since the transition. Yes. I told the girls, you're probably going to see a lot of me, and you're gonna have to get used to it. But they love the time that you spend with them. And, when you get up in the morning or even in the evening, if you can just do a recap of how was your day? What were some positive things that happened? They're so grateful that you're even asking them, that you want to be involved. And, because right now where they're at, it's in a different place. What might be a small thing to us is a huge thing in their world. So just to ask them, what was a positive thing that happened in your day? Giving them, devotions that they can apply throughout the day, and how did that apply to you, and hear their stories and feedback, or, even getting texts from the residents sometimes, or phone calls just to say, hey, thank you, for doing something small for them, because what might be small for us is huge to them.
And a story comes to mind, Shanna, that a couple years ago, it was like the 4th of July. And during the 4th of July, Loretta and I participated in a number of parades. And we were doing a parade in Pickerington. And there was one of the ladies there. Everybody else had family, or they had someplace to go. But one of the girls there didn't have any family connections. So we said, would you like to go to the parade with us? And so she went to the parade. She had a chair. She watched the parade. And after the parade, we said, we're going to stop and get some pizza. Do you want to join us? We had pizza. So we took her back to Grace Haven. And when she got out of the car, she said something I'll never forget. She said, this is probably one of the best days of my life. And to us, it was just a regular day. It was just a day where you go to a parade, you have pizza, no big deal. But to her, like you said, the little thing, just the thought that somebody cared enough about her to take her someplace. And it gives me goosebumps to this day to think about that.
And I think those are, even the things since transitioning in, is to bringing some of those family core values, because some of the girls, depending on what their story is, they may not have ever experienced, what a family is. So trying to bring some of those family core values within the home, have family meals together, even though we have separate houses, as long as there's not anything that is going on that would be alarming or concerning.
Well, sure.
Go back and forth and still communicate with each other, still try to be, a group and help each other, during your process, and have family dinners together. So I went over yesterday, and I was so excited because they were all planning a family dinner. They were all pitching in to bring something, and it's creating that there that is very important for them, because some of them have never had that. So even if you can create those family core values there, it gives them, a sense of unity, and, people to kind of fall back on to support them and be of encouragement.
Right.
So
that's wonderful. We had dinner at a restaurant here in town Monday night, and the waitress was a former Grace Haven person, and she was just doing so well.
Yeah.
I think it's those kind of things that really are encouraging. And
it is.
And not everybody's going to make it, but the ones that do, it really is striking.
It is. It's inspiring to see that turning point in some of their recovery steps, is when they may come at a certain point, and it's just very inspiring to see as they progress that turning point when they accept, and they're willing to fight every day for a chance. And, and it's those moments you have to hang on to, because sometimes the blessings, when you see all the brokenness, you have to, put a lot of emphasis on those blessings that you see.
And I guess we need to really make folks understand that there's no cost to the girls.
No.
Right. This isn't some expensive treatment center or something like that. This is just a home where they're accountable. They're drug tested.
Right.
There's rules they have to obey. Or they can't stay.
Yeah, there is. There's definitely rules and structure that they have to, uphold when they're there.
Now, what are some of the roles of the volunteers? And I'll just mention one because, like, we've had men that have volunteered to just come over and do repair.
Yeah.
So there's even those kinds of opportunities.
Absolutely. I mean, we can find a volunteer spot. If anyone wants to be involved, we can find a place, where we could get them plugged in to make a difference. Sometimes that could be mentoring.
Right.
Kind of coming alongside one of the residents and be, just an encouraging, supportive person in their life that's a good role model.
Right.
There's being involved with activities. A lot of times, one of the residents had said something that, they don't know what it's like to feel normal, and sometimes they just want to feel normal. So, being able to maybe take them out for coffee, or, let's go to the park as a group and just have those real life moments that to us may not be a big thing, but to them, it's really taking them out of the world that they were used to and showing them something else. So volunteers for things like that, family dinners, anything we could find a place to be plugged in. But it's a ministry that shouldn't be feared. And sometimes I think people have this perception of maybe it's a ministry that I don't want to be involved in.
Right, or maybe I don't have the skills or ability,
and
but you can plug them in somewhere.
That's not the case.
Yeah.
The girls, love the communication, they love the quality time, and it really is a ministry that is very it's refreshing in some ways, and it can be if you go into it knowing and not fearing that just because it might be connected with jail and addiction, that's not what the ministry's about with the residents. It's that quality time and giving them an opportunity and giving them a chance and meeting them right where they're at and saying it's okay where you're at right now. We're just going to come alongside you and try to help you get to the other side of that. So
okay,
volunteers are needed.
We're almost out of time. Appreciate you coming
thank you.
the last couple of weeks. Shanna Littleton, Executive Director. Before we go off the air,
yes,
your phone number in case they want to be a volunteer, they have maybe a family member, someone that may want to go to Grace Haven. How do they get in touch with you?
They can call me directly at 740-808-6255.
Appreciate you being with us. We'll have you back here, in a few months. Let us know, what's going on and a lot of things. Very interesting.
Thank you very much.
Well, we're just about out of time. Appreciate each and every one of you that join us for the program. I get a lot of nice comments about the program throughout the week, and that's appreciative. And thanking the good job of the men and women of the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office that's out there serve and protect every day. The clock on the wall says we've got to go. Until next week, same time, same place. God bless, and we'll see you right here.
There are so many fun things we all can do to be healthier, no matter who you are or where you are. So let's move.
Oh, here we go.
Let's stretch in the grass.
What a play!
Let's play tag.
Wow, unbelievable.
Let's jump up and down.
Oh, what a way to finish it.
And most of all, let's eat better so that we have the energy we need to play an hour a day, every day.
Everyone can play. Just go to letsmove.gov to learn more.